They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only, subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Monday, January the 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, cloudy skies with a high of 43. Coming up here on OTBOT, Sports Illustrated's Ross Dellinger stops by. Next, Jeff Duncan from The Athletic talks Saints Bears at 9:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter at OTB_ESPN or watch live at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Streams back up. You can get inside in the Bayou 4 chat to interact. OTBOT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what up, y'all? What up? What up? Welcome back. Off the Bench. Welcome back in multiple ways. Not just welcome back here to Hour 3, but welcome back to the YouTube stream. Freaking computer auto restarts. The bane of many a gamer out there. You're in an intense online ranked matchup. You're finally about to hit platinum. All of your dreams are coming true. And then the computer automatically restarts. We've all been there. Danny just had to deal with it during the middle of a live video production. Great job, Danny. But we are now back. And it's my pleasure to welcome back one of our favorite guests. And that is Mr. Ross Dellinger. You know him. You love him. Sports Illustrated. As tuned in as any college football reporter, any reporter really, you'll find anywhere. In fact, the reason why we had to push back a little bit, impromptu meeting with Greg Sankey. As Ross just told, how about that? Ross, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How are y'all?
What arcane secrets did Greg Sankey reveal? Are they expanding the playoff? Are they getting rid of Mizzou? Like, what's going on?
they getting rid of Mizzou.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They
No,
shouldn't get rid of Mizzou. If anybody, we should get rid of like South Carolina or something. Mizzou, Drinkwitz, they were great this year. They were fun.
no big revelations really. Nothing. Yeah, nothing probably really interesting to your listeners. But it was a lot of legislative stuff. Obviously, the NCAA convention right around the corner, so there were a lot of legislative issues we discussed obviously the pandemic and just how all the decisions that he had to make through the pandemic. And I think that one of the most revealing, maybe interesting thing was he kind of opened up now that the season's over about how he felt so alone back in July, August. A lot of conferences were canceling the season, and the SEC was marching forward. It was kind of the voice to keep and play college football this year, and he felt alone. He felt like he was on an island.
It is kind of wild to look back on, and it's just funny how this has all played out with the Big Ten having to end up bend over backwards to try to get Ohio State in the first place, and it's validation. In the end, it becomes a big win for Sankey, right? The nightmare scenarios were avoided. We've got an entire college football season, and it culminates in a national championship tonight. Ross, let's just talk about this game tonight. And what's your view on it? Obviously, I mean, we just talked about it last segment. I think certainly I want Ohio State to win, but like, is there an argument? Like, how does Alabama not win this game? Is maybe the best way to address this.
Turnovers, right? Always turnovers. Alabama probably. And I'll say this: I think it's been written somewhat at length this year, but these two teams, Alabama and Ohio State, recruit basically number one and number two historically, and right now for the 2021 class, they're number one and number two. Do they talent-wise? They're probably pretty close. I don't know, if anybody is near those two, except maybe Georgia, talent-wise and in recruiting, and maybe not too far off as LSU. But I think you're looking at two really talented rosters. So anytime you get such talent on the field, Ohio State can win, and we saw it against Clemson because they have great talent. I think obviously the better team is Alabama, and it would take, like I said, it would take turnovers for Alabama to lose the game. They probably have to lose the turnover battle at -2 or -3, I think. But T-Bob, this is why they say we play the game kind of thing, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
In Clemson, the Clemson game in Ohio State is a good kind of example of that, right? I did not expect that result in the way it happened.
Look,
here we are.
If this LSU team can go to the swamp and beat this Florida team, then yes, anything can happen. It's just that Nick Saban is the king of smashing out the variables, right? Like, he's the king of smashing out any hope that you have. But time before 2015, we'll see if it happens again. Ross, you're in Miami right now, right?
I am walking along the boardwalk at South Beach.
So take us can you set the scene for us maybe a bit in just terms of, because you cover these big events, right? Like all the time. And so you've been to national championship, you've been to all the big college football events. How does it compare in this pandemic year being in that city where so many people be so excited to be there? Does it feel like a little ghost towny?
Yeah, and it's felt like that all year. When I was when Duncan and I were finishing our talk, he asked me, he said, "Are you covering the game?" And I was like, "Well, of course, I'm covering them here. I'm coming." He said, "Well, how many games have you covered?" A couple. And I was like, I said 10. I think me and Washington Post reporter Chuck Culpepper have covered more games than anybody. Traveled to more games than anybody this year. This would be the 11th for both of us. And I don't think anybody else is even close, from what I understand. And that's not to say, hey, I'm prideful and all this. I've been careful, obviously. But if they're going to play college football, I'm going to travel to college football games. That's my job. I usually would have traveled to probably 15, so it's scaled back a little bit this year. But so I've seen a lot of this where usually, God, there's so much excitement, there's so many people everywhere. And this year it's just not the case. Now, I'll say something about what having it here in Miami does. is the weather is so much better that you go out, you go outside. I mean, I'm outside right now, and it makes things a little better. So you have, people are a little more comfortable outside, and so it feels a little more differently than, say, when the HU game was in Atlanta. That was one of the just surreal environments, because a year before, obviously LSU was in that SEC championship game, and it was turned into Bourbon Street, and it was just insane. That hotel, the hotel lobbies, it was like nothing I've really ever seen before. And to think a year later, it was just empty. I felt like I was the only one. I was the only national writer to travel to that SEC championship game, which also is insane just to think about. But, yeah, so it has been weird, and it's weird here. But, again, a little different here just because the weather's so great that there's a lot more outside stuff. You just have a lot more people out and about, so it does feel a little bit normal.
Talking to Ross Dellinger at Ross Dellinger on Twitter. Follow him there for all of his information, everything else. He writes for Illustrated. He's as tuned as anybody with college football. An interesting article that you retweeted from Pat Forty until I asked you the question that the article asked. The headline reads, "Was it worth it?" And then there's a quote. If we had to go through this again and do it again, I'm not sure everybody is signing up. What do you think, Ross, as we sit here on the cusp of the end of the season? Was it all worth it in this pandemic year?
I think the fact that few, if any, players had real bad symptoms. I think that probably give you the answer that it probably was worth it. I think if you had hospitalizations and all this stuff from players, obviously we would have probably stopped at some point, and it wouldn't have. I think the answer wouldn't have been worth it. But I think it was because we were able to not have too severe, serious of symptoms. But to get the answer to that question, man, you're gonna have a different answer from two different groups. We are obviously we've seen from earlier this week, and not to get too political, but we're obviously a divided nation, and it's a divisive time. And so it's just on this issue, you're gonna get a lot of different answers to that question depending on who you ask. But I think the vast majority in college football would tell you that it was worth it because we were able to they were able to keep, for the most part, keep players healthy, even if they did get the protocols and things, and they weren't getting symptoms and all that. But history, it'll be interesting. I asked Thank You this. How will history look back at his legacy for being the one to champion Let's Play during a pandemic? It'll be interesting, 5, 10, 25 years from now, how history will view, the SEC leading the charge to play. Again, you'll have varying different thoughts on that, but depending on who's looking at it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think when you get a little distance from this, I think the majority opinion will be that it was worth it, and I think that we'll kind of look back on this and be like, man, that's crazy. It didn't stop. They managed to keep it going and keep that kind of continuity. But I guess only time will tell. Ross, thank you so much, man, for stopping by. How's everything going over there? I know you and Liz living in D.C. Y'all are like super locked in. Stay safe out there. How's everything on that front? Y'all okay?
Good, yeah, good. She was supposed to be in the Senate chambers on Wednesday. She decided kind of at the last minute not to go for various reasons. One of them was she assumed that there could be something like this. I don't know if anybody assumed, could have predicted what happened. Shameful for the nation, and never been more angry and embarrassed as an American on Wednesday. But thank goodness, she wasn't there, and we're all good. We live about 2 miles from the Capitol, so it was kind of surreal just being in D.C. that day. We had a curfew at 6 o'clock that Wednesday night, and so we had to run out and get what we needed, which for me was a bottle of Buffalo Trace.
I was just about to say, I know the first thing that you grabbed was some whiskey. Oh, man. Hey, you got to hold it down, man. Absolutely. Priorities from Mr. Dellinger. Ross, thank you so much, man. Enjoy tonight. Thank you for putting, yourself and your family out there and doing all this travel and bringing everybody the college football coverage that we all crave so desperately. You did an excellent job this year, so thank you, man.
Thank you, Bob. See you.
All right, have a great day. Okay, when we get back, let's talk some NFL playoffs. We are back up on the stream. Shout out to Danny. No shout out to you, Microsoft, and your Windows Auto updates, which apparently we're going to turn off. But yeah, we'll be back next. Talk more NFL playoffs, and then Jeff Duncan coming up to give you his perspective of the Saints' big playoff win at 9:30. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN.
OTB, OT. Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Happy New Year from Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. You can get into a Corolla for $239 a month with only $2,000 down, or choose from our pre-owned selection. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Yo, join us for a Monday edition of Hanging with Hester and Haney, presented by Richard Honda from noon to 3. We'll update you on the latest with the LSU coaching search, and also, how did the Saints fare in the playoffs against the Chicago Bears? On 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTBOT. Some excellent conversation going on in the YouTube chat right now. How did y'all get on this? Who brought up American Eagle? Who drew first blood here? There's a lot of early 2000s style talk going on right now. It sounds like there might have been a little bit of a difference in Louisiana and Atlanta, though, because to me, it was always Abercrombie & Fitch was the premier. That was the top dog. A&F was. That's where you wanted to get your cargo pants that you could unzip into cargo shorts. It's where you wanted to get your sweet polos with whatever year Abercrombie & Fitch was established, written in very large letters. It's where you'd pick up your Abercrombie & Fitch horrible-smelling cologne.
That the store also smelled like?
Yes, they had multiple puka shell necklaces that you could engage with. If you want to look at kind of... now that I'm older, creepily underage teens shirtless with abs all over the walls. They definitely had that at Abercrombie & Fitch as well. But yeah, it was always Abercrombie & Fitch, and then the hierarchy went American Eagle, and then Hollister kind of came in as this like young new kid on the block who was doing the same thing, just doing it, I guess, with... Well, Hollister's big twist on the equation was like, okay, instead of just pictures of underage teens with abs, what if we hired underage teens with abs to stand shirtless outside of the store, which they did, which is so funny to think about now. If you go to Hollister today, is there still a young abbed male welcoming you?
I don't know, because I haven't been to Hollister or American Eagle or Abercrombie & Fitch or the mall in general in a very long time.
These shorts right here, this threaded belt.
Came with the belt?
This
Oh, yeah,
threaded loop-de-loop belt, whatever that thing is, that nylon. I don't know how you would describe it. That thing is unbelievable. I like, Hold the Mayo said his cargo pockets basically got out of control, describing one day where he came home with a bowl, marijuana, cigarettes, some citrus dip, which was big back in the day, all in the pockets. But that is the great part. Very functional. Not the most stylish, but the functionality of cargo pockets have gone nowhere. You can carry anything.
It was very odd to see sort of the West Coast style and maybe even some of the Northern style at the same time make its way down. It just looked kind of out of place in the South a little bit.
It's just so funny. They just completely took over.
I mean, it did.
A lot of people mention PacSun. I was a huge PacSun kid as well.
Hello, West Coast style.
Yeah.
I mean, that is surfer.
Also, you got to remember Tony
skater,
Hawk. Tony Hawk made skating huge back in the early 2000s for our generation. The Tony Hawk video games were unbelievable.
They were great.
Landing the 900. Unfortunately, as a chubby fat kid who... Look, I mean, I was screwed from the day I started skating. I ride goofy foot with my right foot forward, yet that's also the leg that I jump off of. I never stood a chance.
That's not how it works.
I never stood a chance. But that is a single activity that I put more hours into and showed little to no improvement in my entire life. I mean, I used to go to the skate park for 6 to 7 hours every single Friday. I would practice all during the week, and I think I landed like 2 kickflips in my life. I never even got down to consistent ollie. It's sad to think about. I still had a lot of fun, but I was in love with some PacSun. I thought it was so freaking cool, dude. Wearing like some DC shoes, Volcom t-shirts. Used to love Element t-shirts, that little thing.
The arrow thing.
The little tree arrow thing. I used to love looking at the ads for the Roxy Surfer girls. I always thought they were super hot.
Okay.
It's just, man, this is all just so nostalgic to kind of look back on. One of my favorite internet jokes ever, still to this day. Have you seen the picture of the dad in the Hollister where he's got the caving light on? He has it, because those stores are so incredibly dark, dude, you can't see anything. So there's a dad who is in the Hollister, and he's got a caving light on his forehead, and he's like looking through clothes for his daughter, for his son, or whatever. And it's the type of dad that I aspire to be.
It was like the same song just played on repeat the entire time you were in there, and the volume was always turned up.
Oh man, the mall too. I mean, and to me, that's what those stores. Oh, here it is. Look at this guy.
Good.
What a legend.
That's so
dude.
good.
What a legend. It just like he took it out of his pocket and threw it on the forehead, just like it's completely normal. It also makes me nostalgic for the age of the mall, because this is when malls were still rolling. Now, not the golden age. I think the '80s were probably the golden age, or maybe like '90s, like mall rats type of time. But it was still rolling when we were kids, and to go there, you'd always be excited about going to Abercrombie & Fitch. Was normally like some maybe some hot girls there from your
You'd
school
go to hang
or
out.
something.
You would go to hang out.
It was
at the
kind of
mall.
a hangout
spot.
Wow.
And then internet shopping killed that.
Yeah. That's just so wild to think about, dude. I remember actually one of my very good friends growing up ended up winning a deal as an Abercrombie & Fitch model. And so when I got to college in 2007, I showed up at the mall one day to go buy something, and there he was, shirtless, full abs on display, covering the entire window. Shout out my guy, Justin Snyder.
Yeah, the whole conversation came up because of Ross Dellinger's new pick. I said, like, somebody brought up, like, he's got a really deep V-neck shirt on. I was like, nothing beats the Hollister V-necks from early 2000s, and that's what it started it all.
The Hollister deep V's combined with that classic puka shell. I mean, you just can't go wrong. And then what was this all about? Do y'all remember taking the hats and fraying the brim? I remember literally buying brand new hats, taking the brim against concrete, and just rubbing it vigorously back and forth till it got that frayed look. What was that? Or why did we used to wear our hats kind of like up in the back, or they like maybe even tilted to the side a bit? I don't know, man. Style's a funny thing. Style's a funny thing because it always looks awesome when you're in it. And you're doing the latest styles, and it looks cool, and it looks attractive. And then when you look back on it, it just looks absurd, right?
That's always the best part when you look back and you think, gosh, what were we doing?
Well, now we're in the era of high-waisted jeans.
Which, that's a comeback, though.
Yes, it's a comeback,
was
right? We used to look at that like in the 80s, like, what are they doing? They look stupid, right? Because in the early 2000s, around Abercrombie time, it was all about those low-cut jeans.
Right.
But now I see those low-cut jeans, and I'm like, that's absurd. That looks really dumb. The high-waisted ones are way better. So, like, who knows what we're wearing today that we're going to end up just clowning or laughing at pretty soon. Yes, oh, my God, Ross Singletary just hit the nail on the head. It wasn't enough to fray your hat. In the South, at least, you had to throw a fish hook on it. Why? I don't know.
I never did that.
I don't know, dude. That was like the thing. You just threw it right there on the
I
bill.
knew people who did it. I never did that.
Oh, you like to fish, bro? Oh, that's cool. We get it, dude. Oh, man. Held the Mayo V-Net Chalmec package. At what point will physically going to the mall be considered antiquing? Yeah, I don't know.
I think it is now almost.
I bet you Cortana was lit back in the day. I wouldn't know. I unfortunately made it here after it was already dead, but that would be a fun, people always ask about where you would want to travel to in time. It would not be my first stop, but that would be a fascinating stop. To go back to malls in their true prime. I'd go and hit up the arcade, dude, and I'd spend all day over there. Shout out PacSun.
I don't know if you heard of Esplanade Mall in Kenner near New Orleans.
I had never been.
Oh, yeah. It's like the same as Cortana. It used to be like a poppin' mall before Katrina. And like now it's a ghost town.
Just a ghost town, just unused. Like they don't.
There's
know
like
what
a
to
bunch
do
of
with
like
building.
ghetto stores and like just like off-brand stuff and like it's empty.
Damn, dude. Rip malls, man. Who knows? Maybe somebody will come up with something super kind of creative and somehow bring it back. But I don't know. Whatever. Better to have Abercrombie and Fitched and lost than to have never have Abercrombie and Fitched at all. Classic. Saying that we can all live by. But yeah, I will take Abercrombie & Fitch over American Eagle, though. Out of the big three, who are you choosing?
No, I was always a bigger American Eagle.
Hollister.
Okay. So I guess that makes... So do you think, Musso, you're representative of the majority of Louisianans around your age? Like over here, because I grew up in Atlanta, over here was American Eagle considered the superior to A&F?
At least in our circle it was.
Okay.
I mean, in our circle there was much more American. We were very like opposite ends of the spectrum, right? So like we would wear a lot of American Eagle. We would also wear a lot of Ralph Lauren as well still. So it was just very opposite ends of the spectrum.
I remember buying black shorts that went like down to my mid-calf from PacSun that had random red Chinese lettering all over them. And I still have no idea what the lettering said.
That's just really weird.
I had a very, sometimes you have these moments of clarity, and I was a little kid. I was probably about 10 years old, and I had those shorts on, and I'd spend the night at a buddy's house, and his sister was in our same grade, so it was a great opportunity for male-female sleepovers. and I had allowed the girls to paint my nails black. And I think it was probably like 12 or 13. And I remember being at a Hawks basketball game with my father and looking at my Chinese symbol shorts, black denim shorts, and then my black nails, and kind of looking at my dad and thinking, man, am I a disappointment to him? I feel embarrassed now. I remember it as vividly and clear as day. It was a moment where I just knew, like, man, my dad's a really good dad, because I would be disappointed in me if I were my son. So shout out to the old man for seeing past the emo painted black nails and black denim shorts with the Chinese lettering, and still encouraging me to play football. All right, when we get back, let's talk to I don't know what just happened in that segment. That was fun though. Let's talk next to Jeff Duncan about this huge Saints win yesterday. The Saints beat the Bears. Stick around here on OTBOT.
OTBOT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out, 1045ESPN.com.
It's the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
Happy New Year from Corvell Toyota Toyota in Opelousas. You can get into a new Camry for $335 a month with only $2,000 down, or choose from our pre-owned selection. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping Saints-Bears in the NFL wild card round, and also the latest on the LSU defensive coordinator search. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB OT, T-Bob Musso, Danny. Hanging out with you. Danny digging up some gems. We'll get to those a bit later as he's found a picture of 17-year-old me that I wasn't aware was on the internet anymore. I thought it had been disappeared, but like Musso said, thanks to Mark Zuckerberg, nothing disappears. It is all written in virtual stone, and for all of our follies to be, saved for posterity, I guess. But let's talk to Jeff Duncan right now, as Jeff is, just the Saints man, right? I mean, the guy. Just wrote a book, Peyton and Brees, is shaping the NFL's greatest offense. Go check it out. It's excellent. And, there's nobody better to gain insight from into what happened yesterday. Jeff, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hey, T-Bob. How you doing today, bud?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. I mean, right? The Saints win. They advance. They avoid a collapse like last year. And I want to start here, Jeff. So on Friday, we were talking about how it's interesting. The Saints, so we've been talking about this for a few weeks now, right? They maybe have more untapped potential than any team in the playoffs when you look at the little amount that you've had Mike Thomas, Kamara, and Drew Brees on the field at the same time. But on Friday, we said, look, it's not just one All-Pro. It's not just two All-Pros. You're actually getting three All-Pros back. When you look at Deontay Harris, I don't know that I expect him to do what he did yesterday. Were you at all surprised by Deontay Harris coming out there and being the leading receiver for the Saints in a playoff game?
Yeah, I think that would be a surprise for most people. But the way that, the Bears were concentrating their defense on Mike Thomas, the Saints have shown in the past they're not afraid to call the number to some of their secondary assets. And this kid has, I think, earned the trust of Drew Brees and Sean Payton over the last year. And I agree, T-Bob, and that we all kind of, I think, forgot about him a little bit in the offensive picture. But I think he's a key guy going forward because everybody knows about Kamara and Thomas, but they need another explosive playmaker on the perimeter, and he definitely is that. You can see his ability to run after the catch. They get him out in space. He's a very difficult matchup for opponents.
So when you look at yesterday offensively, there's still improvement to be made, still time to get down, still strides that can be taken. But the defense, I mean, not a ton of improvement to be made there. Outside of that trick play where the Bears should have scored, the defense was just absolutely dominant. Shut down the Bears all day long. Jeff, I said this earlier in the show. Do you agree? I'm getting shades of that Peyton Manning Broncos Super Bowl team where the defense really carried them to that championship, and then you had a Manning and an offense that was good enough. I think that this offense has way more potential than that team, but in terms of how they're winning games right now, it certainly feels similar.
Great minds think alike, T-Bob. I mean, I just filed my column for The Athletic. It just got published, and I think my last line references the formula the Broncos used is exactly the one the Saints are following. It's almost identical, and I agree also. I think this offense in New Orleans has much more potential than that Broncos one did. It feels like the Saints haven't come close to playing their best game on offense yet. And that's understandable. They had a lot of moving parts, a lot of attrition for various reasons, and they're getting them all back right now. And we saw some of I think a little bit of the byproduct of that yesterday with how they kind of sputtered early against the good Bears front. Let's give them credit. They gave the offensive line some issues, but this defense is by far, unquestionably, the best defense in the Peyton Brees era. There's no doubt about it. There are very few weaknesses there. They've found the formula for success, playing that two-deep look with Malcolm Jenkins, moving him back alongside Marcus Williams. has kind of cured all their ills early on. All the pass interference penalties, the explosive plays that they were giving up early, those have pretty much been eliminated. Yesterday you had the one trick play that you mentioned that should have been a touchdown, and then just a perfect pass from Trubisky to Javon Wims down the sideline. Just those are going to happen. These are NFL players. Otherwise, the longest pass play or longest play the Bears had was 21 yards. They had two plays over 20 yards. And if you can eliminate explosive plays and shut down the run the way the Saints do, you're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, and limiting explosive plays may be tough when you look at the next matchup. So let's go ahead and dive in, right? Because the Bears game is what it is, but the Saints were the biggest favorite. It's still a good accomplishment, but that was kind of a check the box. Let's take care of business, and then we'll see what comes next. And what comes next is now this unreal narrative matchup of Brady, Brees, the guys that are 1-2 in every major statistical category, both going for that kind of one final hurrah sort of feel. I mean, now if you're Drew Brees, you're looking at potentially, if you're just going to extrapolate this, are you going to have to run through Brady, Rodgers, then Mahomes? Like, it could get wild, but it starts on Sunday with Tom. How do you feel about this idea of like beating a good team 3 times? It's something that's going to dominate the conversation throughout this week.
I think it's a tough assignment for the Saints. Mentally, that's, I think, the battle this week. How do they gain that edge, during the week of preparation after having beaten this team twice, including routing them on their home field? And Sean Payton's a master at these kind of things. He's a master at getting his team prepared. I'm sure that's going to be the focus of his talk on Wednesday when he meets with the team. But this is a veteran team, and there's a sense of finality to this season, T-Bob. Yep. I think everybody understands it. If this is going to be Drew Brees' last go-round, probably, I think in all likelihood. And I think the roster is going to turn over a lot because of the salary cap problems this team has. Not everyone's going to be back here. You've seen the reports about Jeff Ireland and Terry Fontenot interviewing around the league. Coaches are interviewing. This iteration of this Saints team, the last 4 years, is going to be broken up after this season. And it's probably going to be a transition period, and so you can feel it. You see it in the way the players talk to us during the week. This could be it. There's a lot at stake here, and this game I think is going to be the most difficult one in the run to getting to the Super Bowl. I really believe that. I think beating Tom Brady and the Bucs a third time, a good team, and they're going to have that mental edge coming in here. And the Saints don't have the home field advantage like you normally would have.
Yeah.
Just I think it'd be very difficult.
And is there anything that has changed from the blowout in Week 9 to this game now that makes you feel that way? Like specifically, what is concerning you about this?
Well, Tampa Bay's playing really well. In particular, Tom Brady. The Brady we saw in Week 1 threw the pick 6 to Jenkins and threw another interception early to Marcus Williams. Some of those hiccups have been ironed out, and they are firing on all cylinders offensively. The Saints aren't going to hold Tampa Bay to 3 points again. I mean, that's not going to happen. I think they were embarrassed by that performance. I think they were shocked that it happened. You remember, T-Bob, that a lot of people were picking the Bucs to win that game,
yep.
And it was just a complete whitewash. And I know it's NFL football. These are professional athletes. Motivation only goes so far. You have to execute. But that's going to have some carryover to this week, and also just think, it's the fact that Brees has beaten Tom Brady. I think it's 7 out of 9 times. Rest assured, Tom Brady knows about that. He's going to want to play a lot better, and it's going to take a better offensive performance from the Saints than they had yesterday to win next weekend.
Talking to Jeff Duncan at JeffDuncan_ on Twitter. Follow his work on The Athletic. If you want to sign up, go to theathletic.com/holdthatpodcast. Shameless plug for my own podcast, but I do really, genuinely love The Athletic. It is the best site out there, and there's no ads. There's no ads, y'all. So hit him up. If you look at that Week 9 matchup, especially Jeff, the reason why the Saints were able to separate and dominate was because the defensive line. I mean, they just absolutely decimated the Bucs offensive line. Where that gets interesting is maybe the Bucs O-line isn't the best, but just in pure sack numbers, Brady's been one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the league. So I guess, do you think the D-line can maybe not the full extent of that performance, but can they dominate or can they kind of control that line of scrimmage once again over Tampa?
I don't see why not. I mean, Cam Jordan has owned Donovan Smith almost as much as he's owned the Atlanta Falcons in his career. Now, that game, the last matchup, Ali Marpet did not play, and that was a big loss for them. He's an excellent offensive lineman, and he will be back. And you know that they're going to be motivated. But I still feel like that is the strength. The defensive line is the strength of this Saints team. They go 8, 9 deep there, the rotation. But there's a reason the Saints yesterday just wore down the Bears.
Yeah.
They wear you down with their physical play in the trenches. It reminds me, T-Bob, of like an SEC team. We see it all the time. Look at Georgia, Cincinnati. Cincinnati's in the game, and it just the constant 4 quarters of physicality takes its toll, and Georgia's able to pull away. That's what it reminded me of yesterday, and that's how the Saints win these games. And I think if you're a Saints fan, you have to have more confidence in this team being able to finish defensively. You know, think about it. The last 3 playoff losses, everyone's talked about the sputtering offense. But the fact is, Drew Brees has driven the team to a lead or at least a tie in the last minute of the last 3 playoff losses, and the defense couldn't get off the field. I think this defense can.
Yeah, I think that we actually mentioned that after reading your piece last week. It's a fascinating perspective, and it's one of the reasons why you feel so good about this year. So speaking defensively, we know the Lattimore and Evans history. Marshawn Lattimore has dominated Mike Evans for the most part. What worries me is the emergence of Antonio Brown. You look at the last 3 games, he's got over 400 yards. I think he's got right about 20 catches, 4 touchdowns in those 3 games. How do you think the Saints contend with Brown? Like, who gets that assignment?
I'd stick Chauncey Gardner-Johnson on him and maybe get in his ear and see if he can get punched. that seems like a pretty good strategy.
If there's anybody that you could get to lose his temper, Antonio Brown would be at the top of the list.
That's my point. Might be something they're talking about at Saints camp right now. No, I think that's a very valid point. I mean, Antonio Brown had just come back. It was his first game, I believe, back, and he has emerged as a playmaker. And I also think they're running the ball better. I mean, Leonard Fournette's coming off a few big games. We know what kind of potential he has here in Louisiana. I think this game is going to be an epic street fight into the fourth quarter. You have 2 of the game's all-time greats at quarterback. I guarantee you, I've got friends at Fox Sports. They have to be doing cartwheels right now at this matchup. It's going to be one of the most watched games, I'm sure, of the season and maybe in recent broadcast history.
Well, and it's legendary. It's going to be a dogfight, which means it could come down to a kick, which begs the question, Jeff, what's ups with Lutz right now? What's going on?
Boy, it's concerning. There's no doubt about it. Even Sean Payton mentioned yesterday. I mean, he's been so automatic, and he's missing all the same way. So it has to be something in his technique, in his approach, because it's almost always pushed wide right. And I don't know. It definitely is a concern because it feels like this is going to be a game that comes down to a field goal. It really does to me. And, you have to have that confidence. I thought it spoke volumes yesterday when he passed up a chance to kick early. And Will Lutz is a true professional, though. I mean, no one works harder at this thing. But kicking, T-Bob, I mean, you know this. It's such a mental game. It's a lot like golf. And if you get off a little bit, it can take some time. It can get in your head. And so I think the best thing that could happen for Will Lutz might be next week to get a couple out of the way early, get some confidence, because right now I'm sure it's a little shaky.
Yeah, my mom was asking me yesterday what the yips are, and I basically defined it as anytime you have like a repeatable, very exact motion that you have to hit, and if one thing goes off and kind of throw everything awry, and that's just kind of what Lutz is dealing with right now. Jeff, do we know anything about the status of Trey Hendrickson and the Stinger going into this week?
No, I think there's reason to have optimism. We'll know more Wednesday what his status will be, obviously on the injury report. But he's a tough dude, and I think it would be a surprise to me if he doesn't play this week. But those are finicky injuries, T-Bob. I mean, that's one of those ones, the fact that it can come back like that certainly is a concern. And it showed yesterday. The Saints pass rush wasn't nearly as effective as it is when he's out there.
No doubt. All great points. Check out Jeff's work on theathletic.com. No exaggeration. I love The Athletic, but I love Jeff's work even more. Check out the book, Peyton and Brees, and follow Jeff on Twitter at @JeffDuncan_. Jeff, thank you so much for waking up with us this morning, man.
Anytime, T-Bob. Have a great week, buddy, and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'll probably hit you up again next week to talk about whatever goes on. We'll close out OTB OT next here on 104.5 ESPN.
OTB OT. Off the Bench, hanging with Esther and Hanny, after further review and more, are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Happy New Year from Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. You can get into a Corolla for $239 a month with only $2,000 down, or choose from our pre-owned selection. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Monday edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, live from Ivar Sports Bar for our national championship watch party. LSU's last day as defending national champions. Come enjoy it with us, or tune in at 6 p.m. as we lead you into the game on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
I wonder if the Bucs are the Bucs of top 5 front 7 in the league. Saints are certainly a top 5 O-line. I wonder. I mean, the big weakness of the Bucs is the secondary. So getting Mike Thomas back and Deontay Harris is really big. But I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I wonder if you'll be able to run the ball on him. It's hard to run the ball east and west against that team with Devin White and Levante David with the speed. Wait, so did Devin White have COVID this last game?
He was on the COVID list, COVID reserve list. I don't know if he actually had it but he's been activated. He was activated right after the game.
Sweet.
So it was kind of the Alvin Kamara thing, but they just missed.
They missed the window.
Right. If they would have played on Sunday, he would have been available, but they played on Saturday.
All right. Well, he's going to be available this Sunday, and I can't wait to see what happens. Somebody says, ask T-Bob time. Ask T-Bob, do I think not having to face Kiffin, Saban, Milan? I don't know what this supposed to be. Jimbo, Leach, and others had anything to do with Marcus Freeman's decision not coming to LSU? I think, James, it sounds like family was maybe the main point, but I mean, that's where my head's been at. Is that if I was weighing LSU versus Notre Dame and my entire goal is to be a head coach, like Freeman has said, you want to keep as much juice behind your name as possible. And you're going to do that by putting together great stats and great defenses. And at Notre Dame, you will have just as high of a profile as you would at LSU, but with significantly less challenge. And maybe you won't have the full breadth of the athletes that you'll have at LSU, but you're still going to have some dogs. Like, you're still going to have good players, better players than you had at Cincinnati or anywhere else you've been. And then again, like as you pointed out, yeah, James, you don't have to face Kiffin, Saban, Jimbo, Leach, and all of these other offensive minds that currently occupy the SEC West. So it to me, Notre Dame just makes so much sense. Feels very safe. You go there, you put up great numbers, and then a year or two, you are a head coach. Yeah, wait, how's that for the spin zone? I didn't even want him anyway. He wants to be head coach. He doesn't want to be here. Musso's rolling his eyes. Billy W. T-Bob, would you rather a Boosie fade or new Iberia haircut? Boosie fade. Come on, dude. I ain't trying to do that weird Barry, like that weird, like, is his hair gelled? Why is it kind of down in the front? It's got that, like, little spikes on it a little bit. No, thank you. Chin strap or blackjack McDowell goat tee? I don't know if I understand. I would never rock a chin strap as far as beer goes. Hey, Danny, do you have that picture brought up of me in high school? Wow, look at that. That's me and my wife at 17 years old.
Why do you have a blazer on over a T-shirt?
Hey,
that's all I want to know.
We talked about fashion, dude.
No,
fashion.
That's not fashion.
We were literally at a fashion show. We were at an Atlanta Falcons fashion show. Get to meet Mike Vick, hang out. That was so hype. I loved Mike Vick at the time. And, yeah, that's a Led Zeppelin T-shirt with a blazer. Pretty sweet. All right, great production work. Danny Musso, thank you to everybody in the chat. We'll see you tomorrow.
OTB OT.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited